Do you think 10 people traveling on a ship could disappear into thin air? If not, then you must be unfamiliar with the story of the abandoned ship, Mary Celeste. The incident of Mary Celeste has gone down as one of the most mysterious conspiracies in history. But what exactly is the story behind it? On December 5, 1872, crew members of the British brig decode noticed a ship at sea, roughly 400 miles east of the Azores. Captain David Morehouse was shocked to learn that it was none other than the Mary Celeste, which had departed New York City 8 days before him and should have already reached Genoa, Italy. A boarding party was dispatched to the ship by the captain. The crewmen's possessions were still in their rooms, and the only lifeboat it used to have was missing. Although the 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol in the ship's cargo were mostly intact, 3.5 feet of water was swirling about the bottom of the vessel. There was enough food and water for 6 months, but not a soul to consume it. So what had actually happened there? Throughout the years, the absence of concrete evidence has only sparked conjecture about what may have happened at the haunted ship. Theories have included mutiny, pirates, sea monsters, and murderous waterspouts, among others. On November 7, 1872, the ship set out on its disastrous journey with 7 crew members. The last entry in the ship log was made at 5 in the morning on November 25th, after the 282-ton brigantine battled bad weather for 2 weeks to get to the Azores. And what followed is unknown to all. The crew of the decode sailed the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, a distance of around 800 miles, in the hopes of getting a salvage reward from the ship's underwriters. Frederick Solly Flood, the Attorney General overseeing the salvage investigation, had a sneaking suspicion that something about this case wasn't quite right, but he wasn't sure what. But why was he suspicious? It's because the crew and passengers of the Mary Celeste vanished, but they didn't take their belongings or food or water with them. Additionally, the crew of the decode just discovered the Mary Celeste was in good shape and sailing on its own, according to Captain Morehouse. All in all, it appeared that the crew of the decode had murdered every person on board the Mary Celeste, abandoned their corpses at sea, and then sailed the stolen ship and its cargo to Gibraltar in order to collect salvage compensation. Did they, though? Well, Mr. Solly Flood and the Salvage Inquiry say that's not the case. Certain red flags were raised by the fact that the crew of the decode stood to profit financially from the disappearance of everyone on board. But after more than 3 months of harsh, bewigged British investigation, the court discovered no proof of wrongdoing. But one thing wasn't solved yet: the mystery itself. There was still a last entry in the logbook, dated November 25th at 8 a.m. It provided the Mary Celeste location at the moment, which was within sight of land at a distance of 6 miles northeast of Santa Maria, the easternmost island in the Azores. What was absent is maybe more important. Obviously, everybody was gone. Sextant, chronometer, navigational book, and ship's register belonged to Captain Briggs, and all were missing. This suggested an orderly abandonment of the ship. Briggs had at least enough time to get below deck and collect his navigational equipment before hitting the lifeboat. These tidbits of knowledge are useful for deconstructing some of the most popular theories that have emerged over time. Treason is ranked first because it was basically accepted opinion throughout the real salvage inquiry in 1872. Naturally, Solly Flood and his court believed that the decode's crew was up to no good. But as I've said, they could uncover no proof. The captains of both ships had also been close buddies. Briggs was a seasoned sailor who enjoyed a solid reputation in the industry. Captain Morehouse was especially worried when he learned that the abandoned Mary Celeste belonged to his friend when the decode first sighted the ship. Given that Morehouse and the decode stood to profit from the salvage, it's not improbable that they were culpable. It doesn't feel right, though, given his relationship with Briggs and the absence of any proof of violence. There have also been rumors of piracy and mutiny, but since nothing seems to have been taken, I think we can rule out piracy. Why would pirates hijack a perfectly excellent ship with goods on board and kill everyone on board just to let it drift away to sea? Mutiny also doesn't appear plausible. Captain Briggs was a capable, just, and logical captain, according to all sources at the time. It's one of the explanations for why people have been so baffled by the Mary Celeste's pointless abandonment. When traveling with his own wife and children on board, it is also unlikely that he would have recruited personnel he didn't know well. Furthermore, even if there had been a mutiny, why would Briggs's men desert the ship after capturing command? It would have been suicide. And that's really the best we'll ever know, because everyone involved is now completely deceased. Too much time is gone, and too many records have been lost. Let us know your theories on this mystery down in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you found it intriguing. See you next time.